Hello everybody, my name is Mike MD. Thanks for joining us today. I'm going to be showing you how to replace a MAP thermostat with coolant pipe on a 2007 to 2013 Mini. I'm rating this job 3 out of 5 flaming wrenches for difficulty. On this car you really need to pay attention to see what kind of thermostat you actually have, depending on if an update has been done on the car. You can see there's a different kind of connector possibilities on there, and you may have an adapter wiring harness that you might also have to get as well. In this picture you can see the thermostat with the pipe that goes to the water pump. It runs underneath the intake manifold. It's a good idea to do while you're in there, and especially if you have around 60 or more thousand miles on your vehicle. Here's a list of some of the tools you will need. Starting at the top, we're going to need some pliers, some cutters, a 21 wrench, a marker, a long flathead screwdriver, a flashlight, a little pocket screwdriver, a long pick, the longer the better, a 1/4 inch ratchet wrench with extensions, a 13 and 10 millimeter socket, a mirror, some bungee cords to get things out of the way. Here I'll be using a couple styles of hose clamp pliers. If you can use them or get your hands on them, it'll really help you out. Otherwise, you can use a pair of channel locks or needle nose pliers. For this job, you definitely want to disconnect the negative battery terminal. And here's a picture of the engine before we start to do anything, so you can always reference this for later and just start taking things off according to the hand. Now with the intake air box with pipe removed, next you want to remove the vacuum line coming from the vacuum pump. So you want to be really careful. It can get brittle. It is plastic. Remove it from the top of the pump first, and then there's another connector towards the back, and they're both like a pinch style. So you pinch and then kind of pull gently. So here you want to try to lift this wiring harness junction up out of the way a little bit. It's a little tight in there, and then remove some of the connectors around it to give you room, and then you can bungee cord some of the stuff back to help you access everything. Now you have a clear view of the side of the thermostat, and before you start taking all the hose clamps off, you want to mark a couple of them first with your marker. Now in this shot you can see the fastener that's holding the thermostat to the pipe, the coolant pipe that's going to the water pump underneath the intake manifold. And you're going to want to take that out. Even if you're not going to replace the pipe, you still need to take it out to remove the thermostat. I use these locking pliers, but you can use like a long skinny set of needle nose. Alright, start disassembling it. When removing that coolant pipe, you'll probably run into an issue where it's hitting some things. In this case, this is an automatic transmission and it's hitting the linkage. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove it so you can continue to pull the pipe all the way out. Now, if you're the lucky one like me, usually it's 1 out of 5 of these pipes you pull out. The end will get stuck in the other side on the water pump side. So then you're going to have to remove some of that stuff. That's when that really long hook pick will come in handy. Alright, before going back in with the thermostat, you want to put the coolant pipe back in. Make sure you lube it first. No one likes to put it in dry. And what I do is a little trick. I cut the corner of the fastener and it helps going back in a lot easier. And you want to sand the burrs off a little bit too. Now pay attention on the other end of the pipe. There's a little notch cut out. That's going to line up directly with the little tab on the end of the thermostat when they go together, kind of like a Lego piece. And once you have it in, it should face down to like the 5 o'clock position, and you want to check it with a mirror to make sure they're in and locked in properly. Otherwise, you'll likely have a leak. Going back in with that fastener is a bit tricky and takes a lot of finesse. It's probably one of the hardest parts sometimes of this job. Try not to drop it if you can. That's why I use these locking needle nose pliers, because it's not very magnetic. So if you drop it, it's hard to find. And here you can see a picture of that fastener properly in. It should stick up a little bit. Make sure the surface area was clean before you put the thermostat back in, and now you can reassemble it. And remember to tighten the linkage back up for the transmission. Double check all your coolant hoses, make sure they're in the proper position. Put the air box back in and the vacuum line, and fill it up with the 50-50 mix approved coolant. While filling it up, you want to loosen that bleeder screw down in there. It's kind of hard to see, but look down in there. And then that's when your long, skinny, flathead screwdriver can reach in there and undo it, not all the way, but just enough to where it can bleed the air out of the system. And when done, close it off and turn the heater all the way to full blast. Start and run the engine. Once you think it's bled, you're all set. Make sure there's no leaks and test drive it. After you're done, let it sit and recheck coolant level. Guys, I hope this video really helped you out and give you the confidence you need to replace a thermostat on your Mini Cooper. I appreciate if you guys could please like and subscribe and share this video. Again, thank you for watching, and happy motoring to you.